Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Straight Line Racing, and it is Ryan's 8 and T1 for the British Grand Prix. I'm coming to Owen White, and with me in the box, as usual, Mr. Ben Gallagher.
Good evening, all. Welcome along here to Silverstone, the home of British Motorsport. Join us with 3 minutes left in qualifying, and a familiar sight near the top, familiar names at least near the top of the timing sheets at the moment.
Yeah, we've just seen Millix Jr. there go top. He's been one of the star drivers, I think, over the last few races, but we still have 4 of them to come round, so he may sort of hold off the celebrations for now as he comes on the last couple of corners. There's still a couple of minutes left, so I wonder if these guys are going to try 2 flying laps in these tires. We have seen on this game that can work, and I think this will be Forium's proper lap now, so we can follow him round. And yeah, as you can see, 13 drivers this time, so hopefully we'll get some varied strategies as a result of that. Some people may decide just to go outside the top 10 and just stick on mediums. I've seen safety cars here, or virtual safety cars, in all 3 of the races I've participated in on this track this week, commentating on racing. So it appears the safety car likes to appear in its various forms, so maybe they'll fancy an alternate strategy.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's because a lot of people like to go side by side into corners like Cops and Maggots and Beckett's,
Yes.
which is bound to lead to a safety car.
It is suicide, really, let's be honest.
But, like you say, unless there is something like that happening, it's looking like a bit of a plain strategy game today, with a pretty easy one-stop on the softest compound.
Oh, Forium, that's in the wall, that's in the wall, and out of the session then. And Millix Jr., by the way, just pitted there, so that could well have been Forium's chance. He's out of qualifying. He's currently second. There's still more people to come round, though, so it's not the end of the world yet for pole. We could still see it change hands in the closing stages, so we'll see what happens. We've got
the Ferraris are out there.
We've got Alfie Jensen McMahon, as usual, in the chat, being all loyal and stuff with a different account again. So nice to see you. Welcome along. And to the other 6 as well. Hello. Nice to see you. As we're seeing a lot of people starting to retire now, but there are still the 2 Ferraris out there, CYP, Nene, and Mebe, all out there, about to do some laps. So hopefully we see some good laps here. And we don't see a Ferrari bottle for once, which of course is very difficult.
Of course, we had the return of the Ferraris last week. Well, you weren't there, I don't think.
No, I wasn't.
Speedster won.
Ah.
And it was 1-2. It's Ferrari 1-2. So
maybe it's my fault then. Maybe it's my fault they're bottling. We've worked it out now. Oh dear. Sorry, Ferrari.
Oh. But yeah, it's looking like back to normal this week.
Yes.
Setting basically identical lap times. What's his name? Speedster is nearly a 10th up on his lap coming through Cops now.
We've got Nene made his grand return the other week. He's about to finish his qualifying lap now in his Cyber, and it's P8. I think his lap might have been validated. And here is Surface in his Ferrari.
2 tenths up.
Let's see what he does. 4th. Yeah, of course.
So Speedster will jump right up then.
That's a fatal crash.
Surface.
That's a fatal crash there for SLR CYP. Put your specs in the chat, please. That was...
Oh,
another one.
Straight.
Both of them. Oh, God. That is a suicide corner there. Will Mebe follow him?
I think he went wide at Stowe and he just decided to straight line Vale.
Now, Mebe decides he's not going to join that rather exclusive and rather expensive car park down there at Vale. He's going to finish his lap now, and it's invalidated, so he might as well have just joined them. Well, a rather suicidal end to qualifying then, but we still have Nene on another lap. He's still going, surprisingly, doing the 2-lap strategy. Will it work out for him? Has he exceeded track limits at all this lap?
It's taking a woeful line through Maggots and Beckett's there, but
lots of words of support here.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm being realistic here.
Oh dear.
See if you use reliable track limits down to the limits. So in other case, 2 wheels wide and it's invalidated. It's across the line now.
Didn't improve, I don't think.
27 flat. but it could have been a battle at the same time. Either that or it didn't get him out of 8.
Either way, that 27 wouldn't have got him up any positions anyway, so he stays P8 regardless of whether that lap was valid or not. But yes, once again we've seen suicide in a qualifying session. But yeah, let's quickly go through the grid then. So Millix Jr. sort of dominated that at the end there. He got a good lap in, a 25.6, which is just miles faster than anything I could even imagine. We've got Forium second, Calcus third, Surface fourth, Blunt fifth, Speedster sixth, CIP 7th, Nene 8th, and I don't see the rest of them, so I can check the stream now and use magic of that. Tutor Finney 9th, Jammy Dodger, love that name, in 10th, Edgar 11th, maybe 12th, and Skin Up in last. But then again, last isn't necessarily.
Is Skin Up retire?
I don't know.
It's odd for him not to set a lap because he's not. He doesn't. He's up from T2, so he doesn't exactly.
Was he not T1 last season? No, he was quite quick in T1 last season. I thought. Or am I thinking
was
someone
sort of midfield, sort of pace with Mystic Man and that in last year's T1 grid, but it was only up from T2 because of numbers. I think it's the same as right now as well because I raced with him at T2 for a few races. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully we see him do well. 13 car grid. If anyone wants Terrell Limitless, as he won his ILR race from 13 on the grid, is 13 a lucky position in this track? You never know. He went mental on that stream. It was very funny. But yeah, let's see what everyone's tyre strategies are for today. Well, that's boring, isn't it? Only one person on the mediums. That's Jammy Dodger. He's in the top 10, interestingly enough. So someone in the top 10 decides to go for the ultimate strategy, which is probably why he's 10th. Which says he's got quite a bit more pace in the tank there, which is encouraging.
Well, I mean, in terms of people who set laps, he only really had to beat Edgar, so you know. But yeah, that should be interesting to see how that goes for him. The alternate strategy has worked well for people in the past. Millix being the sort of
shining example. Did he win his race in China from 10th? Was it 10th?
10th, yeah, I think it was 10th or 8th. Maybe 10th or 8th, and he went and got Thorium right at the end on the softer tires. But yeah.
Well, we'll see.
In quite a fast formation lap here. They're coming through Cops Chapel already.
Well, this is one of those sort of racetracks, I guess, where hitting the tires up, like, is there even any point?
At least softs, yeah.
Like,
yeah, at least softs. You just need to complete sector 2 and they're pretty much fine.
As long as you don't freeze them, you know, you'll be fine, which is why no one's on the hards. As much as I like the hards, I kind of want to see someone crash in the first few laps just to see them go right and rest of racing hard combine tires. Of course, the last time we're ever going to see them in SLR, on T1 anyway, I know we've got every other race to see them in, but you know, I'm gonna say goodbye to them. My favourite type of tyres, anyone who knows me should know. So yeah.
Can we get a F in the chat for the poor super hards who didn't even get a race?
They looked horrible. They're orange. I'm surprised no one liked them.
Orange tyre. If they didn't get a race, they'd be the ones.
You get them mixed up with the supers too much, wouldn't you?
You get the hards mixed up with the wets.
Oh wow, it's a wet race. Oh wait, no, it's just the hards. Oh. Anyway, doesn't look like we're going to get any rain today. And we've got 5 lights coming on ahead of the drivers for the British Grand Prix in SLR T1. Lights out, away we go. Looks like a rather even start in the front row. Hopefully we all just stay in formation to try one, but Calcus isn't getting on with it. He's trying to run the outside. Sort of going against the script there a little bit, trying to kill himself, but he looks to be alive. He's trying to run the outside. We're 3 abreast into turn 3, and that's going to end in some contact for him. Getting his elbows out and getting into the lead of the British Grand Prix. Surely on the outside, he's got the grip, and he takes the lead brilliantly. Edgar's fallen down the grid a little bit, down to 12th there. I just saw him fly down the field, but there's still a potential for Millix Jr. to keep this lead on the outside, which obviously turns into the inside, a little bit wide, but I think he should be able to push for him wide enough to take the lead back. And a rather hectic start to this race. Somehow he has the top 3 in the same order that he started in.
Somehow Millix got very unlucky there, getting sandwiched by between Thorium and Calcars. Thorium to the inside of Cops. Was very risky, and
attack.
Milks get a warning there, trying to avoid him. The Ferraris are up a position each, I think. Or no, I think they've held position, never mind. But it's a bit of a train so far, no instance in fact. Jam Dodger's fallen at lost 3 positions already, unfortunately. But a bit of a train there coming down the hangar straight.
Looks like we've got Blunt now trying on the inside of Calkers. Calkers, he could have well led that race at the start. He was really getting his elbows out as well into turn 1, but he's now down to 4th and is under pressure from Surface on the outside. Of Veil not going to get through there. I might as well just give that one up and yeah, try again later. Maybe up into P8 at the moment. I think he's had a good start from what, 12 was it he was in? Yes.
Yeah.
12 he was in, so that's not too bad. Having a good start there. 2 Ferraris getting close to each other. We're seeing this quite a lot on rail F1. Hopefully we don't get any team orders though this time. And we'll see these two have a good race. They're both sort of putting loads of pressure onto Calcos. He may have had a good start in the Mercedes, but really, ever since turn 3, it just went completely wrong for him. He's really starting to struggle already, falling a little bit behind. And with the 2 Ferraris in tow, we could see him falling down the order rather soon. And with trains like this, one little mistake, especially on this track, could lead to you just falling through the whole field here. Nene up into 10th, back into the points. It looks like he fell a few places at the start, but making his way back up now. Side by side though, with Skin up into Cops, who backs off here. I think you don't want to go side by side into Magnus and Beckett. You're asking to kill yourself, especially with Nene's line through there. We saw him qualifying. But they're going to go for it, and onto the grass goes the Cyber, and finally he gives up the place. But I'm on board with Edgar because he could well take advantage. The 2 cars ahead of him onto the grass as Surface gets Calkers as well. And as I said, Calkers is being swallowed up here in the early stages, falling 2 places in 1 corner. And back with Skin up and Nene round the outside goes to Red Bull. Cannot quite get through, and Nene eventually completes the move. And there goes CYP now trying to have a look on his teammate. And there's Maybe as well. Maybe just sticking his nose in. Very opportunistic.
Through club corner, brilliant move.
And now Calco's under some real pressure here on the outside. Now Maybe getting past. Oh, big lockup from Calco's. Overshoots the corner, then contact. Maybe nearly spins off. And he's losing so much time as CIP now tries to find a way back through again. Nearly contact there too. And DRS is now enabled on this lap, and this is just going to go crazy in a moment. Also, the top 2 are as close as they've been since lap 1. We've got Forium trying to look for a good exit there on Melix Jr., but I don't think he's going to quite get it. As Maybe around the outside cannot get through. That allows CYP a chance, and this ends in tears into Cops. You can see it already. Oh my goodness, here we go, and there you go. On the old main straight there's contact, and it's Calkers and Maybe into the wall, both damaged heavily.
The YP will be laughing.
Yeah.
You're very lucky to get out of that scot-free. I think it was just poor awareness from someone there, just cut across another driver. There was a bit of contact further back, I think, between Edgar, Skin up, Jam Dodger. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
It's 2 Ferraris going for it side by side in Stowe, but Surface just shoves his team off the track, says you're not coming through. Not today.
Indeed. The front 2 are bridging a bit of a gap to Blunt behind them here, who's kind of in a bit of a world of his own between the front 2 and the 4th and 5th of the Ferraris. Calkers is out.
Yeah, he must have retired in the pit lane. I imagine Maybe may do the same thing. Or maybe he'll go into those magical hard compound tires that I was saying earlier. Go on, let's see it.
Yeah. We'll step away from the racing action for a minute, just because this is a big moment.
He's left. Okay, he's retired.
Well,
and there's the 2 Ferraris. Swapping places, Speedster ahead of Surface, so yeah, that looked rather easy actually.
It's a bit of an issue for the Ferraris because really, especially after last week, they want to be going after that win, and they're slowing each other down. They're 2.5 seconds off the first podium place, who was already losing time himself to the front 2, and that's where these Ferraris want to be. They're losing time battling for 4th position. They just want to, even if anything, be swapping under DRS. In these next few laps now, and just start.
Nene is spun. Sorry to interrupt there. He's spun on the exit of Cops, I think. He's down to last now, but no damage, crucially. So hopefully he can just stay in the race and yeah, get away with that. But I must say, the parallels of Ferrari to real life are scary in this race.
Quite, quite indeed. Quite
Yeah.
fourth and fifth all the time. Apart from last week. But yeah.
Oh, last week. My fault.
And then there's the two that are always seem to be battling for first and second.
Yes, maybe not as
And then
realistic.
this fella in the middle who seems to want to tag along and beat people who he really shouldn't be behind him. So yeah, that's a bit of a long shot, but we'll roll with it.
Yes. No, I'm noticing for him, he's in DRS. I was on board with him there, and he's not really trying to pass. Nor is Milik's trying to defend. They're both extremely high on their ERS. They're not necessarily using it. So that's going to allow Blunt to start to catch up a little bit, and we could start to see a freeway fight for this wins very soon. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Milik gets a little bit crossed up on the exit of Cops. That will obviously help with his teammate catching up. We could see a Haas sandwich very soon. And yeah, we'll see what happens to that one. But onto the grass again, look, Milik Jr. starting to struggle possibly with the tires. It's surely the pit, so he's going to have to try and defend this for him. Going for the lead now on the outside of Stowe. And that looks like a very good run indeed. Does he have any space though? No. But a bad exit from Milik Jr. I think it's curtains for him, and for him does take the lead here. But look for the exit from Milik Jr. He's taking a very different line for there. His forehand goes a little bit wide, and I wouldn't advise going side by side into turn 1, but you never know what these guys will do. There's 9 retires in the race, only 10 remaining now, so everyone should get points. And Forium does lead this race, for now at least. As I said, everyone's been saving their ARS, so we could well see more battling in the near future.
Exactly there. Milik's there, quite a big lift coming through turn 1. We really don't need one, really, through that corner. Like you say, he's quite high on his ERS. I feel like he's just taking it easy right now, playing it by ear. We've got another 20 laps this race to go, so maybe just biding his time and trying to stay in that DRS until the pit stops at about when are the pit stops again?
I'd say around lap 10, 11 for his softs, and then we'll see from there on.
So it'd be looking to start moving after that point. But he just seems to be taking his time right now. Milik's playing it by ear and waiting for his opportunity to go for it. At the same time, he doesn't want to lose Torium because, unlike a lot of races where he's gone after Torium for the lead, he doesn't have a tyre advantage this time. You know, so he's on the same strategy, and he's just going to be at the same sort of pace. So
does he fancy a dive bomb here though? Look, he's using so much more ERS, and he just tries to scare for him a little wide. I think it's worked as well, but then there's just nowhere to go through here as well. So he's certainly, I mean, he saved his ERS when he's being attacked by Forum. He's got about he's got 100% while Forum's got only 50% of his bar, so that will help. It's just about where he uses it. We've seen this many times where people have had the power advantage but not been able to use it. Forum's very good with his usage and defending, so we'll see how he gets on.
Will do. Blunt has lost a bit of time to them. He was about 1.1, I think, on about lap 5. He's lost about 4 tenths, 5 tenths now since then, and at the same time the Ferraris are dropping further back from the Haas. So it's kind of spreading out a small bit here. The Ferraris do seem to be dragging each other along a little bit, but not too much advantage, not much gain on the Haas ahead of them.
Yeah, it feels a bit of a stalemate now with the cars behind the top two, at least until the pit stops start. Of course, the pit stops could be what decides is for the top two, and being this close, maybe someone will take a punt, maybe a lap 9 pit stop or something, and try and get the advantage. Issue is, the way the mediums work is that your first lap on them, you are not going to be quicker. You're not going to be quicker, just face it, it's not going to happen. You need the second lap to be able to take advantage of them. And Milik Jr. gets close again, but just not close enough, and still has plenty of ERS in the tank. This time, Forum has an even worse exit from Stowe. Is there anywhere through? Well, Milik Jr. once again just have to bide his time. You can imagine, I know he made his mistakes and he was ahead before, but, you know, if he gets ahead, I could see him staying ahead. But back to my point about the tyres.
Great run.
Yeah, that's got a very good run, hasn't he? I just want to hesitate just in case he goes for it into turn 3 here. It's not out of the question, but yeah, we'll quickly go on the tyres here. Say you pit, say Millix Jr. pits on lap 9 and Forium on lap 10. It's going to be lap 11 where it all happens, because Millix Jr., if it says like this, you would imagine he'll come behind, still on those mediums. He'll have to use a second lap to take advantage of them. But we'll see what happens. Maybe he gets through here, but he doesn't. So, yeah, like I say, certainly the second lap on the mediums is your best lap. So, yeah, just keep that in mind if anyone tries an undercut. And I think Millix Jr. has just hit the back, or was that desync? Or maybe he just got on the throttle too early. What on earth happened there?
I think, yeah, he kind of, a bit of both. I think he sort of had slight contact with the rear end of Thorium and spun up the tyres a small bit as well, and the back end just kicked out a little bit. Not enough for to send him into a spin, but just enough to give Thorium a good run through cops and gain a bit of time on him. But he's gained it back through Maggots Beckett's chapel there.
And there's his ERS again. If he hadn't made that mistake, you know, I could see him passing now. He's already got that gap right back down. Do we see any very early pit stops on this lap? Not out of the question, but we're going to keep going for a little longer. And we go again. Another lap of potential fighting.
Surface.
Typical Ferrari strategy. They're going to try something different. I said lap 10, 11, something like that. I thought lap 9 would be earlier to push. I know I suggested lap 8 this time round, but yeah. Oh, car off, Blunt in the wall in turn 2, and I just caught that one on board. He was sliding off into the gravel trap. There shouldn't be any damage. Oh, CYP so nearly just creamed into him there. That could have been a huge crash. But
could have been.
He's only 5th. It's fine. It's not like he's damaged. He should be alright there.
He should be. It looks like he just got a bit of snap oversteer through turn 1, 2.
Oh. Foreman went on the grass there a second. I thought he was going to spin there. But he's okay. No. Look how much Millix is due. He's turning left into cops. He's got that little grip. His back end's trying to go on him. This is going to make Maggots Beckett's chapel very squirmy for the two of them here. I wonder if we'll possibly both of them into the pits. They're both struggling in equal measures. And we've already got Forium only sort of trying a defensive line now. He doesn't really need it into Stowe. But let's see what happens in the pit stops. Will we see these two pit this lap? Will we see it separated? Will we go again? They're waiting.
Ferrari might pit though.
I'd imagine the Ferrari will pit, yeah. Expect Blunt in the pit as well. And CYP's sliding about like mad
he's
as
sped
well.
in the pits. He says sped in the pits.
Will Blunt do the same? No. Oh.
But the mediums could. It's the thing. The mediums can go that amount of laps if you're pitting on lap 8 or 9. But like you say, there will be a small bit slower. You know. It's not like they'll be dying on lap 26 or anything because they're quite solid. You know. But
I think we should be able to see an example though of the sort of advantage I'm trying to talk about. We saw Surface had 1 lap here on these tyres. It's going to be the second lap he's on now where he has to take advantage because the speeds of his tyres are going to be so cold. If he's anywhere near him, which he isn't, as you can see, then he needs to catch. It may look out of reach, but if Surface can just keep his head...
speed's off.
Well, that sort of helps it, doesn't it? I mean, that really shows how cold the tyres are, doesn't it, out of the box? And Surface gets past rather easily in the end. Well, way to ruin my example.
I mean, it still kind of works. He just kind of, like you say, the tire is just freezing cold. Just on turning, it just kept sliding. It turned it right, and it didn't want to turn left again through the loop section. Just went back out onto the
Top
grass.
two follow each other, and oh my goodness, Forium! No, he tried the dummy, but it has not worked out in his favour. He's cut the track while doing the dummy and got a penalty for it. Oh. It was very clever. It was very clever until he cut the track. It was a great dummy. Oh, that was so unfortunate. That could have worked out for him.
Did you go into the pit lane and then jump back across the grass?
He went to the pit. He went onto the grass and then just did the chicane normally. But cutting that grass counts as a corner cut. Oh man, for him.
It's Oh, I wish I saw that. But,
and that's so nearly worked as well. I kind of wish that worked. He pitted.
Okay.
That's he lured Millix into the pits there. Oh,
Yeah.
come on, that could have worked for him. But it didn't quite. We'll wait and see, though. We know Florian's quick, but he's now got to overturn a 3-second gap and an undercut. He sort of dug his own grave there, quite frankly. He should have stayed in that grass a little bit longer. Might as well
Well,
just...
Millix has a penalty as well.
Well, yes,
So-
but he's got the undercuts, and maybe we'll see properly the example of your tyres are freezing, but now they're not. And now the guy ahead of you's going to have freezing tyres. Although, being in the grass isn't exactly going to have helped Forium's tyres. I think we may just see Millix Jr. flat out just pass him. You lose what's it, about 30 seconds to 35 seconds in the pits. It sort of depends. Millix Jr.'s 28 seconds, you would have thought he would overtake. Especially with Forium taking it extremely easily into the pit lane as well, to not speed. We should see Millix Jr. take the lead of this, I think.
We'll stay. I mean, it's a very long pit lane, I suppose. Millix coming through slow. We should have him. It is going to be a bit close, though.
So,
Millix through the video chicane in about 5 seconds.
Another
Picks up
penalty.
a penalty.
Yellow
That
skin
could
up,
be the deciding factor.
skin up with tyres.
Torium might jump him here. I think he will. Torium will jump him by a good bit. Oh, maybe
Well,
not.
no, they'll meet on the exit of turn 1, I think. Let's see. And yeah, Millix is ahead.
Oh,
So Forium, taking a little trip onto the grass, has really just cost him massively, hasn't it? But if you say Millix Jr. has a penalty, he just got a second one there, so he'll have 2 penalties to deal with. So, yes, Forium is
hold up.
nearly 4 seconds behind, but if he just closes the second, he'll be alright.
Torium might get eaten up by the Ferraris as well here.
Yeah, well, he could do that as well. Really cold tyres versus warmer tyres. Maybe my example will finally get a chance to prove itself. Let's see. Surface should have just huge amounts of grip here. Through cops, he could even have a chance. Let's see. On the exit particularly, if he's good enough, he can sort of engineer that one. But he should get past. He should take his advantage here. The Ferrari strategy should work out. He should be brave enough to go for it here. He should
Go
be.
on.
He'll have. He should have the extra grip. He doesn't realise he's got a golden chance. And Millix Jr. is about to retake the lead of the race, by the way. That's normal. It's a car gets a pit. But here we go. Surface for a net P2. Let's see it. Round the outside. He should have the extra grip. And he should be dancing past. But he just isn't quite able to get past at the moment. Forium's tyres are getting better all the time. Forium takes a tighter line there. Works out for him. Millix Jr. now nearly 5 seconds clear of these two. And it looks like Forium has put himself in a battle for second rather than a battle for the lead. Oh my goodness, Surface had a huge amount of opposite luck through there. That could have ended in the weeds very quickly, but luckily he's okay. And he'll get a DRS attempt on Forium. They've much less ERS for Forium, certainly compared to Surface, so it means he's got more firepower in that Ferrari, but you can already see he's starting to fall away.
You can indeed. He's really using all the battery he's got to keep ahead of Surface here, because if he knows if he drops behind Surface, the win is a distant memory. Even with Millix's penalties. So Surface could even have a late challenge for the win here if he deals with Torium fast. Because Millix has got 6 seconds of penalties, I think. Surface has only 3.
We'll need to check that at some point, but it should be something
yeah,
like that.
I checked. Yeah, Millix has 6 seconds, and Surface has 3, and Torium has 3. So, yeah, they need to get within 3 seconds of him, and they are currently something like 5. 4.7 Torium is, and Surface is 5.4. So we got 2 seconds to close.
Surface got on the grass on the entry. I think it's not going to happen for him, unfortunately. Unless, of course, well, it's not even unless. You know, Forium will catch Jamie Dulger before he pits, you would imagine. Fastest lap for the Force India driver. Then Speedster. Could Speedster get involved? That could be interesting. Does he have some hidden pace they could exploit later on when his tyres are, you know, lets him cool down, has a little rest, sits back, and waits for it all to come to him? We'll have to wait and see if that happens.
We will indeed. It's kind of a waiting game at the moment, though.
Yeah. Just starting the second half of the race then. And, Well, we've now got 3 cars with DRS with each other, and crucially, Forium is going to catch Jamie Dodger in the worst place possible, quite frankly. Maggots and Beckett's, he's going to be coming up against a much slower car. What does he do about this? Let's see on board how quickly he catches. I mean, even through he's gained a couple of tenths there through cops. And now he's just going to have to hope and pray he doesn't have any issues through here. And he should be able to execute the move into Stowe. But Surface has already caught right up. So, let's see how hard Jamie Dodger makes this. He's on the inside. Will Surface pass him as well? If Jamie Dodger's got any sense, he'll let him go, and he does. But straight off the track goes the two of them, Forium and Surface, both dancing off the track and not getting any closer. Yeah.
Gets him out of the way. Beats him out apparently. That's 6 seconds for him. And no, actually, that's a stop and go and 3 seconds.
So at the moment, Surface is 1 penalty, as is Forium. Millix is on 2 penalties and 2 warnings, I think, that's said on the screen. So, really, this is the fight for the win, actually. Possibly. You never know. Could later on turn out to be the race for the win, Surface versus Forium. So it looks like Forium is winning this battle at the moment. But, as we've seen before with Forium, look at his fuel. It's running low. His ARS is running low. Surface doesn't have any fuel issues. He's got over 2 extra laps of fuel in his car. So, yeah, this could still come to the fray. This could still swing towards him as he doesn't fall too far behind. Jamie Dodger looks to be stuck in the pits, by the way. He's sat there on his soft tyres. His car is not moving an inch.
Brilliant. I thought we were done with this, Cody.
I really thought we were going to get a whole race about it, but there you go.
Moving on.
That never happened. But yeah, we just need to hope that Millix Jr. doesn't get another penalty, or maybe we need to hope he does, because then that could really enlighten this whole race and make it a much better affair.
At the moment, Torium is 1.9 seconds behind what would be the net lead, because he's got a penalty less than Millix.
And looks like Speeds has got 11 seconds of penalties. So, yeah, count him out, I guess, as well.
Kind of relying on Torium to close 1.8 seconds on Millix. Which is a bit of a Hail Mary. Yeah.
So, let's have a look at the places gained, actually. I haven't looked at that in a while, because I'll see, Jamie Dodger, yeah, well, of course, he was stuck in the pits. That was always going to happen, wasn't it? Interestingly, we still have actually got 3 people in the same place as they started. You gotta question where Blunt would have been if he hadn't have stuck it in the gravel trap. He would have been right up there with this. He could have actually, I don't know if he's got any penalties or not. We'll check that now. He has a penalty as well, actually, but he could have really been in this fight as well. He could have been in a fight for the win. He really could have. If he didn't go off like that, knowing what happened to Forium moments later, we really could have seen this switch a completely different way. If he had just kept it on the track, but instead he's running 5th, and Surface back in the DRS of Forium briefly. But yeah, top 2 has stayed in the same position they started. Blunt, somehow, same position he started. Surface and Speedster made 1 and 2 places respectively. CIP made 1, Superfany made 2, and Edgar made 3. And even though Jamie Dodger retired, he made 1, and Skinner made 3, and then there's a few more that fell down. And Mustang's here. Nice to see you. Welcome along. Hope you are having a lovely life and are enjoying it. And yeah, welcome. But yeah, I said Surface caught up, and yeah, he hasn't. He's fallen away again.
Lost it again. Yeah, like I say, a small bit of a waiting game. Instead of catching Millix, which would be detrimental to him having a chance at the win on penalties, he's losing time to Millix. So, yeah.
Millix hasn't got any warnings since the lap that he got his last penalty, so he seems to be cleaning up his act a little bit. Don't know about Forium, has he been cleaning his act up? No. Nope.
Not even a little bit. Blunt gets a penalty.
So, we'll have 9 to go, I think, at the end of this one. So, yeah. Do feel free, if you're still here in the chat, to chat.
Yeah, chat. We need some entertainment.
We need something to talk about now. Unfortunately, we've hit a bit of a lull in this one. But,
help us out here, chat.
Help us out here. Give us something to talk about. Esporium, yeah, he certainly has not cleaned this act up, has he? That could cost him second place right there, that penalty. We'll wait.
Third and fourth as well. Let me have a look. So Surface only has 1. Thorium has 2. So that costs him third already. Or second, sorry.
Yeah.
On all speeds has every penalty in the world, so
yeah,
he'll drop to third.
Ah, dear, Thorium. We've got to go back to that. I mean, you didn't see what he did, but basically, like I say, I'll try and explain it again to you. What happened was, Thorium went into the pit lane, he was in the pit lane, and so Milix Jr. thinks, okay, he's pitting, I might as well follow him in to stop the undercut. And then, at the very last second, Thorium cuts back across the grass, he takes out a braking marker board as well, gets loads of grass on his tyres, gets a 3-second penalty, and loses the race. I mean, it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't really...
it would have been quite spectacular if it had worked. It's just that it failed horribly.
It just did.
It's the only problem.
I think you can still say it must have been the 150 metre board he took out. That sort of gives you an idea. Well, random board blunt, just give you an idea of where he cut back on. I don't know if there's any tyre marks or anything in there. Cody's put that evidence. But yeah, you can see sort of where he came back in. He was quite a way into that pit lane when he finally changed his mind. So if he just done it a little earlier, he would have been sweet. He would have been great. But yeah, didn't work out for him. And that's why Milix Jr. is so far ahead. And
yeah,
on course to win this race by 5.2 seconds.
The Ferraris are on for their second best performance of the season after last week. So they're really going back after it after a terrible, terrible start to the season. We could have a 2-4, or actually it could be a 2-5 after Speeds' penalties.
Blunt to get 2 penalties as well, I think. So, could be okay.
Yeah.
Mustang's asking now if we saw his overtake in T2. I didn't. But, what about you, Ben?
I mean, I did. It was alright. it was
alright.
It was into Maggots and Beckett's.
That's not bad, actually.
So, yeah. But we're not here to talk about Mustang and his one overtake last night. That he seems to be very proud of. Milix, fast lap again.
9 lap all mediums, he's clearly got plenty still in the tank. Why? Can you not just like slip and spin off the track a little bit? Can it start raining? Can we get a safety car? Edgar, I mean, you're 27 seconds at the pace. Just do something interesting.
Yeah, just spice it up a little bit. But
yeah.
I'd be expecting, I mean, if they're on the softs, I mean, maybe I'd be hoping them to overheat their tyres. Me myself, I was having a bit of trouble with, on the softs anyways, sort of rear left, front left tyre temperatures. If you pushed it a bit too hard, they would overheat, get up to 101 cores, and that's when they start to get very, very slippy. But on the mediums, you can't really, unless you go sliding, overheat them.
Well, there is a 3-lap difference in tyres between Surface and Thorium, so that could actually sort of save Thorium a little bit and keep him on the podium towards the end here. So there's something there to keep an eye on. Mustang, again in the chat, getting involved, asking if we're happy to see a Dutch Grand Prix. Like, in my opinion, it's good for sort of the Max Verstappen fans because it's going to be like the best atmosphere probably of the season, but the race is going to be absolutely awful.
Yeah.
It's
I'd say
just no.
If you're going to be there in person, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. But
yeah.
if you're not and you're just watching it on TV,
you're going to be sleeping for 10 months.
Yeah, you will. You will. It's not entertaining racing, but it's if you're there, you only really want to see the cars going around really fast, which you'll get that. I'd say it'll be a great event, but it won't be a very exciting one.
Now, interestingly, Speeds has just got a penalty, but he is catching up to his teammate. Charles Leclerc catching Sebastian Vettel. Will there be a swap? You never know. We like going on about the parallels. And will it inevitably cost Ferrari another position and some points? I mean, come on. This is clearly a Ferrari strategy, isn't it? They're going to cost themselves here if they start fighting.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
I'm a prophet.
Yeah. Into DRS range though. Speedster slides through cops. That's not a good idea.
That wrecks that then.
So yeah, we just gotten into DRS range and he decided to go sideways through Cop's corner and lose it all again. But yeah. Yeah.
Oh well, there goes that excitement.
Yeah. Back into DRS range. Watch him slide through Vale now and drop out of DRS again.
Well, he has DRS, but he hasn't got much ERS. His teammates got marginally more, so that should just help him. He's not even using his DRS. Has he got a failure or is he just blind?
I think he might have dropped just out, just as
No, he had it.
It
was on his. It was on a screen. It was flashing orange, saying "Use me for God's sake."
It was very short, straight. I don't know if it made a difference anyways. But yeah. Let's have a look in the chat. It's okay for the race to be a bit boring as long as the chat is lit. Come on, lads.
It's not.
It's just Mustang. Yeah, it's kind of Mustang in a party on his own. But yeah, I don't know if it is better. Yeah, it is Monaco 2.0 really. Is the sound on my phone? Is there an echo? Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's basically a bit of a Hungary. It's kind of Monaco without the walls at the moment.
And Hungary can sometimes be good. It's never great, but it can sometimes be good. You know, you can have
1 and 2
2015. 2015 was a great Hungarian Grand Prix. I mean, they just kept crashing. So if we keep doing that, then they can make example quite good.
Crashes to spice up, anyways. You know.
Yeah.
It's the only thing.
And obviously seeing Lewis Hamilton fail is also great. Surface now gets another penalty, and that puts the writing on the wall for him for his podium of second. Ferrari has successfully gone and done a Ferrari.
I mean, it's better than
once again,
like 6th and 7th where they have been earlier in the season.
Yeah. Well, at least we aren't crashing out of first and second Ferrari, like Australia. So I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah.
That was great. Still remember that. It was so funny. What was it? 3 wide into turns 11 and 12. Of course, Foyer got out of that one lovely and fresh, and then the 2 Ferraris are both in Narnia.
Yeah. That was a while ago. That was like 2 months ago. Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's nearly over now. You know, the game's nearly dead now. We're very excited, of course, to bin this.
When it dies, it will get buried very deep.
It will get buried. It'll never be found. It
will be buried in an unmarked grave and never talked of.
It'll be cremated by everyone. Its ashes will be spread into flipping space, and you'll never see it again. And yeah, sooner the better, really. Hopefully, 2019.
Wherever you put it, I just don't want to see it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's another reason why this race has got a little less exciting. Just the way the game is. Unfortunately, what it does to league racing is that it does sort of make it a little more stale, and that's none of us can do anything about that. It's just the game's appeal is awful. Like, it just is. There's no point. It's May. Who wants to play this in May? Do you get me? Like, what? A new game next month. Who cares, right?
Apart from the diehards, really.
Diehards, yes. Which unfortunately includes me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You know, you can't run a game off like a small group of diehards, I suppose.
We're making do.
We're making do just about with 8 cars left here in this incredibly exciting. Is this someone in the pit? No, it's not.
Oh, well, we do have Speedster still catching his teammate. We're well into the DRS range now, and Surface is slightly older tires. I said that could play an effect. Actually, he's catching for him as well, so we could see a fight towards the end here. I'm crossing my fingers, my toes, everything. Sort of hoping we
I
get
think the race might end before we get a battle.
No, we've got 2 laps, there's plenty of time. So,
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
and yes, that does mean, thankfully, there's only 2 laps left, and these guys can go and play FIFA or something.
I'm afraid, Mustang, I don't speak that language.
I'm assuming you're speaking Dutch, so let me put it in a translator.
Nu dag hur.
I shall put it in translator.
So, yeah. Yeah. Have a look at that. I imagine, yeah, I have no idea. I learned a bit of German in secondary school, but that I don't think that's German. What else we got? Nope. Nothing of excitement whatsoever. Hello, 7 viewers.
Oh.
9 viewers. Ooh.
Do you know what this message translates to, Ben?
Is it profane?
No, it's, well,
Okay.
bye-bye. Wow. So he left us in Dutch.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
Nice guy. Nice guy.
Nice one, Mustang, sending us a riddle. A riddle before
Nice
we go. It's
guy.
brilliant.
Gotta love it.
Nice one. Yeah.
Comedy genius, you know. Anyway, we've got 2nd, 3rd, 4th, nearly all in DRS. We got so close to it there, but then Surface as usual bottled it and got right straight out of it again. But we do still have Speedster. Final lap of the British Grand Prix. And Mustang is still here, so he wasn't leaving. He just got us to put it into translate for fun. And you've come back. If
you are
never...
a horrible person.
You are a horrible person, but you are back to see potential final lap drama as Surface starts to go wide. I wonder if his tires are really starting to affect him now. I think Speedster has saved his ERS up as well. He has gone up to 3 only, and then when DRS gets enabled, I imagine he'll be going up to 4. I'll try that again. He's not going to go to 4 at all. He's just going to sit back. He's going, oh, come on. Get off the team radio. You're not Leclerc. Just go for it. Let's see a move here. Oh, he's sliding about. And we're not biased,
I think these two are in a party.
Oh,
So they're
God.
probably... Yeah, so they're probably...
Don't you dare pass me or else I'll kick you out of the team forever now. Die. Etc.
Something like that. Yeah. Mustang, I swear to God, if I see any more Dutch in the chat, you're
Oh,
getting cased.
God, kill me. I'm not doing that. That's way too long.
No.
Anyway, here we go. We
But
are going to see a
Speedster.
move. Speedster gets close. And on the inside, is he taking that podium spot? I don't think he'll even keep it anyway, but there is an overtake. He gets it done. Millix Jr. round the final corner. Wins the British Grand Prix. Forium's going to come round. And I think he's going to take 2nd. We'll wait and see on penalties. Speedster's going to fall down from 3rd. Surface takes that 3rd. And Speedster should keep 4th, though. Blunt bottled it. Should have probably won this one, quite frankly, or been 2nd, but he's 5th in the end. CYP. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Of course, didn't go because it's, you know, this. And CYP.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
CYP goes wide.
Chop thingy.
Giuffini is going to finish soon. Right.
Bloody Edgar's only coming through cops, so we'll need a minute.
Right, we're going to Google Translate now to see what he was on about.
In the number 69 Williams. Using all of the RS. You might run out of fuel. Coming through the final few corners now. And across the line. About time.
Love this one from Mustaine. Hi to your mother. Lovely.
Right, Mustang. Right,
Oh.
okay, moving on.
Dutch lessons.
Millix wins.
Yes.
Better not put that in translate bin. Right, okay.
I already did.
Is there a kick button?
Nope. Luckily, there is an end stream button or stop broadcast button.
Well,
Same thing, really.
That's brilliant.
We'll confirm the order and then we'll leave you alone so you can get on with watching IndyCar qualifying, which is obviously what I'm off to do for the next 40 minutes. Anyway, Millix Jr. wins the race from 4am Surface Speedster, Blunt, CIP, Chipafini, Edgar, Jamie Dodger, he got stuck in the bits because this game's awful, Skid Up, Nene, Mebe, and Calkers. Thanks for watching. I'm surprised we kept 7 viewers for you. Honestly, I'm impressed. Thank you for not falling asleep. Maybe you fell asleep. Maybe that's why you stayed. You know?
Yeah, I just left the phone down with the
Left the
stream
phone
going.
down, had a little snooze, got a hot chocolate,
Only Mustang
relax.
actually watching it. But
Yeah, well, thank you
see.
anyway. No idea where we are next week. We need to actually get Championship stands as well. I haven't checked them in a while. I think Millix Jr. and Florian might well be very close at some point. But anyway,
Yeah.
we should be back next week. Actually, I won't be because I've already made my excuses. I'm watching Indy 500 next week and no one's stopping me, so I'm not here next week. Unfortunately,
I
you to be here
might
next week.
be. But we will see. There will be a race next week.
There will be something next week.
No idea.
Very interesting. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you did, that is, and didn't fall asleep. And someone will see you next week. And yeah, safe travels.